Good evening. Welcome to your bedtime stretch class. Today we are going to use a couple of props, a yoga mat and a hardback chair, and a tea towel that we will turn into a makeshift yoga strap. Let's get started sitting on our chairs. All right. Similar to how we often start, let's come with nice wide legs, sitting at the edge of the chair so we're not slouching, finding a nice tall spine. And let's inhale and arch our torso forward. And on the exhale, let's ripple our spine up. Inhale to arch. Exhale to ripple. Inhale. Exhale to ripple. Inhale. Exhale to ripple. And let's reverse this now. Starting with the top of the head, we dive the top of the head down. And we snake it up and come all the way up. And let's exhale all the way down. And inhale all the way up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Good. Just swimming the arms back one at a time. Feeling that little twist in the torso through the sternum. And holding on to the back of the chair, putting your hand on your opposite knee and find a gentle twist. You don't need to crack or pop anything, just a gentle twist looking over that back shoulder. And switch sides, hand on the back of the chair, opposite hand on knee, and look back. Let's do that one more time, each side. Last time. Good, coming back to neutral. Let's kick out one foot to the side. Reach that hand down and over, finding a gentle side stretch. If this does not feel good, you can always just stay up sitting, holding on to the base of the chair, and find a side stretch there. Coming back up, and let's go to the other side. One more time, each side, opening up the sides of the ribs. And last time, reaching to the side, feeling the side ribs, the side of the body under the armpit open up. Good. All right. Before we get into the feet, let's spend some time on the neck. And we'll do a few neck circles in one direction. So 3 to 4 in one direction. And then 3 to 4 in the opposite direction. Good. Roll those shoulders back. Neck stretches. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Bringing the palms together on one side of the torso, and then reach that ear towards the shoulder. Don't bring that shoulder towards the ear. Keep that shoulder nice and down, and let that ear fall towards the shoulder. Bringing that chin towards the sternum, picking the head back up and switching sides. Ear pours towards the shoulder. And then bring that chin towards the sternum, picking that head back up, switching sides. Ear towards the ear towards the shoulder. And you can wag that nose down and up now, getting into some of the different fibers of the neck. And bring that chin towards the sternum, pick the head back up, and the last time on the other side. Wagging that nose down and up. And then bring that chin to the chest. Pick that head back up. Starting to feel a little bit more loose and free through the necks and shoulders. Awesome. And just because the focus of today's class is all about finding relaxation, let's bring the hands to the muscles of the jaw and spend a couple moments here massaging out that little muscle that always works a little too hard on all of us. Finding a little circular action if that feels good, or if you just need to put some pressure and open and close the jaw, you can do that too. Going right kind of right where the earlobe is, kind of up into that area. And then into the temples. Good. Now that we've touched our face, let's bring that touch to the feet. Massaging out the foot. So I'm going with a light touch in between kind of the heel mound and big toe mound, in that kind of arch area of the foot. And then from there, when you feel ready, you can floss the fingers in between the toes, feeling those toes nice and wide. You can either stay here or flex and point those toes, wiggling those joints at the end of the metatarsals. finding little circles one way or the other. Release the hand, giving each toe a little scissor. So it's almost like your toes are doing the splits. And then pulling each toe really gently, just giving it a little bit of traction. Just doing this with the joint, just a little pull. And let's go to the other side, bringing that foot up and over, massaging the arch of the foot. Starting with a light touch and only going deeper if it feels right. You don't have to force anything or hurt yourself or induce pain at this moment in time. A little pain will come later when we get deeper into some stretches. And if that feels good, bring those fingers in between the toes, spreading spreading the joints of the toes nice and wide, like you're creating a big kind of webbed duck foot. And you can either stay here or find a little point and flex action in the toes, a little circle one way or the other. And then from here, give each toe a little scissor and a little traction. Awesome. Let's go into our seated glute stretches. So bring the shin up and over, flex your foot, sit up nice and tall, and hinge forward, starting to feel the back of that leg release. Starting to breathe here and starting to tap into finding some centering and winding down. And release that leg. And let's go to the other side. Leg comes up and over. We sit up nice and tall, hinging forward at the hips, feeling that glute stretch out. Breathing deeply. Feeling the back of the hip release. And on your next exhale, let that release. Let's come up to standing and go to the back of the chair for our little calf stretch. Feeling that heel reach down, feeling the head up tall in the opposite direction. And we'll be here for a moment. And while you're here, you're stretching out the calf. And we could put all of our focus there, but we could also put a little bit of focus into the shoulders and what they're doing, into the jaw, and if that's being held or not. We could also put it into the focus on our breath. Take a big inhale in, and on the exhale, release. Bring that foot in, and let's go to the other side. And on this side as well, feel that heel root down, the head going up nice and long on the opposite direction. Feeling that jaw release. Checking in with various body parts, the shoulders. Maybe even the hands that are touching the back of the chair. Are you white knuckling the chair, or is it just there? Are your hands just there to help you stay up? Feeling that nice long line of energy between heel and top of head. And on your next exhale, bring that foot in. Great. Let's bring these chairs to the side. As you know, we will use them at the very end of class for our little relaxing. I'm going to tilt to this. And let's head to our mats. All right. First things first, let's get our little tea towel ready. So we bring it long like so, and just fold it, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times until you get kind of like a little ribbon. Hello. And from here, let's wrap this around our feet. Bend the elbows and bring the torso a little closer to the knees. And just let the weight of the body fall towards the legs, opening up the backs of the hamstrings. Nice and passive. Take a couple more breaths here. And on your next couple of exhales, see if that torso can go a little closer to your legs. On your next exhale, can that torso go a little closer to your legs? One more time. Exhaling a little closer to the legs. Take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, roll it all the way up and give those legs a shake. This is a very convenient position. See, yeah, right in the middle. Good job. All right, let's come up to the knees and get some work happening in the front of the hip. Bring one leg up and in front. Let's find a little tuck of the tail and come a little bit forward. The more you tuck, the more hip opener, the more the hip will open. You can bring that arm up and over if you want to get a little bit more. And we won't be here for too long, but just long enough to start feeling the front of that hip open up. And from here, bring the two hands down, lengthen that back leg, and let's find a nice long runner stretch here. And if you want, you can bring that knee down to the ground. If you want a little bit more, you can bring that foot up, grab onto the top of the foot, and try to get that heel to touch your butt. And here again, breathing into it, feeling the quad release, feeling calm in the shoulders, connecting to your breath, releasing your jaw. Take one more big inhale in. And on the exhale, release that foot, transfer the weight to the back leg, flex those front toes up to the ceiling. And again, we're entering that yoga half split stretch and see if we can get that torso down towards the leg. And from here, take a couple more deep breaths here. I just want to switch my position so I can explain this transition. From here, we're going to transfer the weight back into that front leg, and we're going to bring our back knee by the outside of our pinky toe. So we're going to step that back leg up and then grab that knee in towards the torso, and we're going to feel a gentle little stretch in the glutes. And now from here, let's place those hands back on the mat, reach that leg all the way back. And just to make this a smooth transition, let's go to a plank pose for just a moment. Bring the other leg in front, bring that knee down, come up nice and tall. Find a tuck in that tail and come forward just a little bit. Feeling the front of that hip nice and long. And if you want a bit more, bring that arm up and over. And while you're in this stretch, checking in with the shoulders, the breath, the jaw. Bringing two hands to frame the front foot. Lengthen that back leg, tucking those toes, feeling a nice long runner's lunge. And again here, Checking in with different parts of the body, making sure that you're releasing any unwanted tension. And if you want, you can bring that knee down to the mat for a little bit more of a stretch. If it feels right and okay, bring those toes up, hold onto the toes, bringing that heel closer to your bottom. Breathing deeply here. And again, I just want to keep saying this like a broken record, checking in with the shoulders and the jaw. And releasing that foot, transferring the weight back, flexing those front toes up to the ceiling, and bringing that torso a little closer to your shin. And stay here for a couple more breaths. And I'll talk us through this new transition again, transferring the weight into that front foot, bringing that back knee towards the pinky toe, and then hugging that leg into the torso, feeling a nice stretch in the glute. Good. And from here, let that come out. Give it a shake. We're starting to get those legs ready. You are so inconveniently positioned. Yeah. Okay. Let's come to lay on our backs and we'll go into our hamstring stretches. Let's grab our little tea towel, wrap that around the foot, and come on back. Just a second. Am I allowed to lay down? No? Okay. All right, from here, let's take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, let's resist for 1, 2, 3. Inhale in. And on the exhale, release and let that leg come a little bit closer to you. Here we go, round 2. Inhale in. And on the exhale, resist for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. On the exhale, release. Let that leg come a little bit closer. Last time. Here we go. Inhale. And on the exhale, we let it release for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. On the exhale, release. Let that leg come a little bit closer to you, and let's hold it there for a moment. And let that release down to the ground. Going to the other side, wrapping that tea towel around. Take an inhale in, and on the exhale, you resist for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. On the exhale, release. Bring that leg a little closer to you. Round 2, inhale. And on the exhale, you release for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And on the exhale, release. Let that leg come a little bit closer. Last time, inhale. And on the exhale, you resist for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. On the exhale, release. Let that leg come a little bit closer to you and let that hang out there for a moment. And let that fall down to the mat and give it a little shake. Bring those feet to the mat, keeping those knees bent. You can put that tea towel to the side, bring those arms out like a T shape to your sides. Wiggle those feet as wide as the mat, and then windshield wiper the knees one side and the other, feeling a small and gentle twist in that lower back. Good. This should feel really nice. It should feel kind of like a little massage almost. This is a really easy exercise to start feeling relaxed in. And as that's happening, check in with the ribs, check in with the jaw, check in with the shoulders. And coming on up. Let's bring those legs wide, sitting up nice and tall. Crawl those fingers forward, and we'll do a little inner thigh stretch. And this one is always a little bit intense. And so this is one where we really want to start bringing our focus into the breath, and on every exhale, seeing if we can just ease into the stretch more, not by pushing it deeper, but just by seeing if we can kind of like give in a little bit. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. Let's see on this next exhale if we can go a little bit deeper. And we'll hold this new depth for 2 more breaths. And crawl those hands back up. Bring those legs in. Give that a little shakedown. Good. We're doing a lot of good stuff for the legs today. Let's do a little bit for the back. So let's come to a child's pose. You can play with having the knees wide or together, whatever feels good for you. And we're going to reach those hands forward. And just to feel the lower back start releasing to begin with. And from here, Bring the hands about 45 degrees to one side, holding onto a wrist and feeling the side body start opening up. Feeling the ribs, the back, the side body all start releasing and stretching. And on your next exhale, release that wrist, crawl through the center, and let's go to the other side, holding on to the wrist, coming into that stretch. Taking a couple of breaths here just to start getting settled. And then really turning that focus in to the side body, the ribs, the back, the shoulder, even into that armpit. And from here, crawl those arms back to center, finding that little child's pose. From here, let's come to all fours, tuck our toes, and bring those hips up high to a downward facing dog. And then just kind of march or pedal through those feet, doing what you need to do here. Maybe you want both heels reaching down to the ground, feeling that head at one end, the heels at the other end of the body. The sits bones are up really high in the air. And from here, walk those feet into the hands into the feet, holding on to opposite elbows. Feel the torso hang heavy. And on the exhale, bend your knees. Slowly roll up through your spine. Roll those shoulders back a couple of times. Going to do a quick time check. All right, we're doing pretty good for time. Let's do our big arm circles, and then we'll head into our little relaxation. Sorry, it's a little tricky navigating this class with a cat on your mat. Sometimes I just don't know if she's going to decide to attack me or not, because that's just what cats do. Okay, let's bring one knee up and bring it over. Two palms meet each other. 3 circles in one direction, 3 circles in the other direction. Taking moments to pause where it feels good, where you want to indulge in that twist, if you feel that pec stretching really nicely. And then 3 circles in the opposite direction. And then from there, come through center and go to the other side. The knee comes up to the chest, bring it over, match those palms, and circle 3 times in one direction. And when you're done that, 3 times in the opposite direction. Good. Coming to the back, hugging those knees into the chest, just rock side to side, feeling the back on the ground. Coming to our happy baby. So, with 2 bent knees, like so, grabbing onto either the ankles or the feet. I like to grab onto the ankles so I can press my elbows into my knees. Find a little rock side to side, opening up those hips, feeling that lower back rounded and relaxed. If you want, you can even play with lengthening the legs, seeing if you can get those toes to the ground. And then bend those knees, bring them in. Grab your chair and bring it to the end of the mat. Grab your little tea towel, which we're going to use as a little pillow. Bringing the calves to the chair, laying on back. Tea towel to the back of the head. And just take a second to wiggle and adjust yourself until you feel nice and comfortable. Placing the palms on the thighs. Take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, press the thighs away, feeling the lower back lengthen. Inhale, release. Exhale, let's do that one more time to press. Inhale, release. And bring those hands to the back of the head. And just one little traction for the head. Exhale, pulling that head away from the body, feeling length in that spine. Replacing that little tea towel pillow. Bringing the hands to the sides of the bodies with the palms facing up. Close the eyes. Take your first couple of breaths just to start sinking into this position. And on your next exhale, start feeling the feet and the calves heavy into your chair. Feel the femur bone, the thigh bone heavy into those hip sockets. Feel the pelvis, your hips, on the ground and sinking down, down, down through the floor. Feel the spine long and relaxed. Feel the ribs expand and contract while you breathe. Feel the shoulders down and melting into the floor. Feel the backs of the arms and hands supported by the ground. Feel the head supported by the little towel. And feel that jaw hanging nice and loose. Cycle through these sensations as often as you need, as many times as you need right now. Stay here with the eyes closed. And only when you're ready will you open them up and carry on with your evening. Thank you very much and have a good night.